And welcome back to Jeff Koinange live at the poolside of the Intercontinental Hotel. That promo you saw just there is a new program that premiered last week right here on KTN. We call it Sikika Sasa. And we're going from county to county. Started off in Machakos. This weekend, starting tomorrow, we'll be in Kilifi County. In fact, JKL tomorrow will be coming from Kilifi County. And then Friday, Sikika Sasa. Kwa vile kama si sasa, ni sasa hivi. In the meantime, House Majority Leader Aden Duale, former Speaker Farah Maalim on the bench there. Kefa says today's show is what I call a real discussion. Kudos, panelists. That's Kefa. And then Joseph Kamau says, I hear the Chinese are bringing 5,000 workers to build the railway. And I'm sure there are all these questions coming about. Are there going to be some laws? Is there going to be some kind of legislation to make sure?
I think what the majority leader needs to do right now in Parliament, and this government of Jubilee needs to do, is that we can, the Chinese can bring us the technology. They can also bring us the money and the loans. But for God's sake, don't bring us your own workers. We want our own workers. We want our people to be trained. We want our people to become the future generators and developers of infrastructure in the rest of the continent. So we want technological transfer. We want skills transfer. We don't want them to come and do the welding. And I've seen the Chinese driving trucks, tipper trucks, Chinese doing welding, Chinese laborers going up. And if you go to the construction in the airport, they're there doing the actual construction. Now that's not acceptable.
And we have to guard against that, don't we, Mashunga?
Yes, I think it's part of our manifesto to create jobs. And part of the standard gauge railway project being done by a Chinese company, 80% of those jobs will be subcontracted to Kenyan companies who will employ Kenyans. Of course, every international company has the leeway to bring very few high-skilled engineers. It has happened those who are building the Thika Highway, but I can tell the country authoritatively that we will not flood the country with Chinese.
What will you do with the current existing numbers of Chinese who are everywhere, by the way?
Everywhere in Kenya, you mean?
I disagree. I think they're not many Chinese. They're very few Chinese. And they're on what? They're on regular legal documentation.
Okay, let's switch gears. Peter Aminga is saying, is referendum stoppable? Honorable Duale should tell us. Is it stoppable?
One, I want to make it very, very categorical that the Jubilee coalition, that which I belong, from the president to the Jubilee voter, we are not for a referendum. And our reasons are very, very clear. One, you cannot amend the Constitution. You cannot amend the Constitution barely when we are implementing it. This is the 5th year of the Constitution, and this is the 4th year of the Constitution, and we have 9 bills. That's why we had to do an extension for more public participation. 2, people are saying, let us increase the county allocations by 45%. They are not telling us what kind of functions will go with those resources. Because in the Constitution itself, both for the national government and the county government, the costing of functions are in tandem with the resources. So if you want to get 45% and leave 55% with the national government, and the object, the Public Finance Management Act principle, is that the division of that resource must also look into the national interest, the national debt, and many other factors. So now we are talking about the Code Coalition referendum. The one of Isaac Ruto is crumbling.
Yeah.
By this evening, 19 of his governors have taken off.
Correct.
And by the end of tomorrow, more will take off. So that one is collapsing as fast as ODM is collapsing. So a referendum is a provision in the Constitution for every Kenyan.
Mashunga, you think it should go ahead?
Unstoppable. It should go ahead. It will go ahead. The reason why we have a Constitution right now, and the reason why there's a provision for the amendment of the Constitution, is the realization that this Constitution might need certain improvements as we go on. As we go on, we'll see some things, some bottlenecks, some difficulties, and there is need for those things to be addressed in tandem with the needs of Kenyans. So when you say that you're going to take from the ordinary revenue up to 40%, 45%, or 40% of it to go to the county governments. Definitely, there are going to be more functions that are going to be devolved. It's not just going to be a blanket for the functions that are there. Just a moment. The committee is out there and it's being worked on. The other thing that essentially we want to do is that, because the only time we have seen real development in the grassroots is when we devolve funds. We did it through the CDF. It worked magic. We're doing it right now through the devolved governments. It's working even bigger margins. We want to have more resources out there. Now, finally, you can't have a governor sitting out there and he has absolutely no business on how the central government functions in his own place. You have a county commissioner, you have a county police commandant, you have all this who basically don't report to him and he is not even a member of the
committee. You prefer that old system?
No, we prefer a system in which the CEOs of the county are able to make a dovetail between the development and the security of the area itself. You see what I mean? You can't divorce these two. You can't. You see, for example, right now, there was a serious insecurity in Lamu. And the central government went there and arrested the governor and said that he is responsible for these things. There would be no situation like that when can I just finish? There would be no situation like that when the governor himself is in charge of security, among other things. Are you getting my point? Or has got a very powerful role in the way of security. You can only hold somebody responsible if you give him the authority to
Jeff,
run.
I think
Are you saying that Governor is a scapegoat?
It's a serious scapegoat. There's no
come
question
on.
about that.
No, Jeff.
Come on.
Oh yes, let's see
Jeff.
the evidence that's going to come out there.
No, I don't want to go that way. I mean,
But
Izzat Imami is a governor I respect a lot, and the same way I also respect the security arms of our country. Let's not go that way. Let's talk about the referendum. 1.5 years after a new government, 1.5 years in a new dispensation of a devolved system of government, where 43% under Article 203, Sub-Article 3 says the recent audited accounts as approved by the National Assembly. Who presents those accounts is the Public Accounts Committee, led by the man I respect, the chairman Ababuna Mwamba.
Correct. The M.O.U.
Yes, the M.O.U, the so-called M.O.U. Yes, I mean we have very little time to own malls. I mean we're busy building roads and railways and fixing the problem. The Constitution provisions, Article 251, 252, 257, creates situations where, and different roadmaps in as far as addressing the pertinent issues affecting the people of Kenya. A good example. Today, if you want to fix the security challenges in our country, you ask the executive, you use your members in parliament to ask the executive to allocate and do serious investment in the security sector. Buy them more vehicles, buy them more equipment, hire more police officers in terms of their ratio to citizens, give them housing, give them insurance, which this government has done. Go to IEBC. I'm picking on the areas that people are saying. Go to IEBC. IEBC, if you want to disband it, among all the other commissions of Chapter 15 of the Constitution, the roadmap is very clear. Bring a petition to Parliament. If Parliament agrees with you, it tells the President to set up a tribunal within 14 days. If the tribunal finds guilty, then they're sent home. Come to devolved system of government. I am one person, and the Deputy Speaker will agree with me. 50 years of independence. We have never seen roads in Northern Kenya. 50 years of independence. We have never seen, water and health. Many.
Yes.
Now, we ask for a devolved system of government, devolved power, devolved resources for the benefit of our people. Now, what's happening in the county governments? In all our country, in our own county. Number one, the absorption rate in counties is about 50%.
But you're still very poor, you know that?
Yeah, no, 50%. There is a lot of issues of public resource misuse. You know, when Isaac Ruto stands up and says, pesa mashinani, I would say, ufisadi mashinani. It's like you come to my shop.
By the way, he's in your party, yeah?
Yes, it's like you come to my shop or my kiosk You steal everything, and you tell me tomorrow I'm coming back. Make sure you go to the wholesale and stock the kiosk. I'm coming back.
Jeff,
let me finish.
I think what I'm going to do is that let me sit there, let the two of you debate, and then I can moderate the debate.
No, just a minute, Mr. Speaker, I listen to you.
Yes.
So what are we saying?
Yeah. You're saying ufisadi mashinani.
Yeah, as if he says pesa mashinani, tutasema ufisadi mashinani. Look at the whole system of the county before I give to my mentor, the deputy speaker, former deputy speaker. Look at the whole system. Today, in the national government, parliament, in which he was a key leader, is independent of the executive. Today, you have a county assembly. Imagine if today the National Assembly was operating from State House. We have a county assembly that is virtually operating from the governor's mansion. What do we need as a country? We need to empower the county assembly. And one of the reasons I have said, members of parliament, including myself, were given 5 million car grant. Free money, 5 million. I bought a new car. Under Article 10 of the Constitution, national values, equity. I asked myself, why should the county assembly in my ward, in my constituency, deny that car grant? And I'm ready to return the 5 million.
You ready?
I'm ready.
But you bought your car.
I'm ready to take a check, 5 million to the exchequer, until and unless the day the county assembly of Garissa County and all of them in the country are given. We need to create an independent county assembly, independent in terms of resource, independent in terms of decision making, so that they do the oversight on the county assembly resources.
Are we going to get there? Because these teething problems are so much. I mean, county governments are impeaching, governors are impeaching everybody.
We will.
Are we going to get over this?
You see, let me tell you. The auditor, the controller and auditor general of the state does not sit in the county governments.
Right.
It's a central government. Correct. It's a centrally based process. If there are governors who are guilty of misuse, take them to court. There's a due process. Just because a doctor might steal some medicine in a hospital, you don't then deny the medicine to be given to the hospital, because you could be one or two doctors who basically are unethical. Yeah. But at the same time, that does not give you the justification for you to say that, well, look, if we take this medicine to the hospital, it's going to be stolen by a doctor, because we have seen one case like that. So let's not take medicine to the hospital. The money has got to go to mashinani. Those ones who try to steal and embezzle and corruptly dispose of money that was meant for the development at Mashinani should be brought to book.
But Mheshimiwa, until someone is arrested, until that governor is brought to book.
Why can't his government do that?
No, it's not the government. Let me tell you, that's why when we talk about what is the president's position on corruption, the president under the new dispensation can only give policy guidelines to his cabinet. The new dispensation, the new constitution has created independent institutions outside the executive, outside parliament, to deal with the corruption. The Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Inspector General of Police, the DPP, the Director of CID. These are institutions independent of the presidency.
But give them more powers than empower them.
Why don't you demand? You can demand.
The powers are there. The other more important thing is the parliamentary
why are they not functioning?
Now, what is happening is when the reports are brought, for example, let's say the Senate received the auditor's report. And when a governor says, during the day, he says, I'm the CEO of the county. I have all the powers. But the day he's called to account for an audit from the Auditor General, he says, let's go to referendum. Transparency and public use public resources, the prudent use of public resources, transparency is not negotiable.
But until someone is arrested, Mheshimiwa, nothing's going to happen.
But who is going to do that? Who appoints the Inspector General? Who appoints the Director of Criminal Investigation?
Parliament.
The Parliament goes through the process, but the final appointing authority is the President. The President has that in the Constitution. You can check in all those ones. So if you are the President and you have got to show results for your own government, then you have to enforce the law. You have to enforce the law. One of the things, for your information, Honorable Duale, we want to change is we are sick and tired of this business of a cabinet that is domiciled outside Parliament. You get my point? Because you're literally in Parliament is committee chairs who are out there. The committee chairs have no authority in any implementation, and they're supposed to take responsibility for the implementation of people who are outside Parliament. It's high time we brought back again the system that said the members of Parliament, you can choose ministers from members of Parliament, whether you want to have a kind of a crossbreed, a certain portion to be taken from outside and a certain portion from inside, one way or the other.
Yeah.
It has to have a system.
But you know, Jeff.
Let me just finish.
Gentlemen, we got exactly 2 minutes to go, okay? I'm going to give you each a minute.
Okay.
What we are seeing right now, we see a government that keeps on complaining like the ordinary citizens. Are you getting my point? That keeps on saying, Jamani, why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? For God's sake, you are in government. You know what we say? The people in government had prepared themselves to be in the opposition, and those ones who are in the opposition had prepared themselves to be in the government. That's why we in the opposition had a problem dealing with the opposition politics for a while, and they themselves have to constantly reassure themselves that they're in the government.
Right.
That's why they keep on saying we're in control. We're in control. Nobody's doubting that you're in control. For God's sake, deliver.
Jeff, I'll use my
last word. You get the last word.
I'll use my 1 minute.
Go on
What we have delivered. For Deputy Speaker and for all the Kenyans who are watching me. 1, free maternity. Every mother in this country is delivering in a health center free of charge. 2, we have scaled by 60% the investment in the security sector. 1,200 motor vehicles, equipment including the forensic lab, 10,000 new recruits every year, and insurance for our men and women in uniform, housing for the police. We're doing major infrastructure, 10,000 kilometers of tarmac road. And me and him, our county,
still doesn't have any tarmac outside Garissa.
Our county, the president is going to launch the 140 Nuno Modogashi road by September. Get me on right. We have increased the free primary education by 30%. We have increased the free secondary school in terms of resources by 33%. We have said no Kenyan kid will be denied his certificate. Government is paying for it. We are saying, and more fundamentally, we are saying you can do any exam in this country, primary, secondary, free of charge. You know, and many free fertilizers. Those are what we're doing. But more fundamentally, I can tell you from the referendum point of view, today was a good day for me. 19 governors have taken off.
How does that translate to the ordinary person on the ground?
Let me finish.
It's only one
19
vote.
Governors.
19
governors. So of course, you know, there was no governors referendum. There are 2 key principles in the referendum in this country. The 2 key principles, not Kalonzo and Wetangula. One is Isaac Ruto, the other one is Raila Odinga. The really referendum we are going to. And we are going to face them on. We bet the Code Coalition by 832,000 votes. We are going to beat them by 3 million votes if we go to the referendum.
That's what you predict.
3 million votes.
Let me tell you one thing.
3 million votes.
The mandatory constitutional threshold for us to force a referendum is only 1 million votes.
No. I'm talking
just
about,
a moment.
I'm talking about the
1 million signatures.
I can assure you, and you can quote me on this, we are going to get not less than 4 million. We might even get 5 million. Can I just finish?
I'm taking
write all this down. I need to write this down.
Can I just finish?
You need to, because it's a serious figure.
The other bit is that 19 governors only translates into 19 votes.
No.
I can assure you one thing.
We're talking of 19 counties.
I can assure you only one thing. They do not hold this. Is not like the American electoral college system in which a state, once you win in a state, then you come with all the electoral votes. No. Those 19 governors, and I can assure you, most of them will not come back come the next election.
Come on, Jeff.
Because
the 47 county governors are serious politicians. They command respect in our country.
Yeah.
They had a referendum.
19 out of 47. You still have 29.
Let me finish. Give me them. Under the leadership of Isaac Ruto.
26.
It's collapsing.
26.
But I can tell you.
28.
Look at the
28 left. 28
look at the
more.
famous Okowa, Kenya, at Ufungamano. Who came? Mother Karua came. Peter Kenneth said, I'll come. Ask yourself, what numbers are they bringing to the table? Watch this space. If we go to a referendum, will be the Code Coalition by 3 million votes.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, let me remind you of one thing you promised us last time you were on the bench, and folks in Twitter.
Laptops.
Yes, laptops.
Laptops.
You said by May.
We believe in the rule of law.
You said by May.
Ask
Provided you can get rid of the double-digit corruption in all the procurements we have right now in the country. We want a double-digit growth in the country.
Let me answer the question. Let me answer the question.
Yes.
We are a coalition that believes in the rule of law. The laptops are in the domain of the judiciary. Please, next time, bring the Chief Justice, my good friend William Mutunga. Ask him, why are you delaying the laptops on along the corridors of justice?
You're blaming Mutunga?
Because
we believe in the rule of law.
Because of procurement impropriety. You know what I mean? The manner in which the procurement itself was conducted. Let me tell you, in all these mega big projects that the Jubilee government keeps on talking about, it's
why he knows
with corruption.
Are you guys really cousins? Is that what happens in your house?
You know what happened, Jeff? Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
I'm his elder brother. So.
Let me tell you. President Uhuru Kenyatta, one thing that he believes, and that's why when he comes to Parliament, every year, he fulfills his international and local and country obligation to the House within the provision of the Constitution. But I can tell you, he believes in the separations of power. The judiciary, Parliament. He doesn't want to run Parliament.
I agree with you on that, basically, when it comes to your rule of law must be respected. And if the matter is in court,
the laptops are in court.
Has to dispose of.
Please call the judges, call William Mutunga to the bench, ask him why he's denying, why he's delaying.
But why did your government mess the procurement process initially?
No, it's the business community. It's a business community.
They went to court because
they wanted to win.
Because
the cowboy contractors mainly from
because of the manner. Let me tell you, corruption is still rife.
No doubt.
Is at the center.
Oh, yes.
And it's bigger than ever.
Of course,
let's see how they're going to slay that dragon.
You know why?
When you guys are not arguing, what do you do?
We talk and
we discuss our investment in northern Kenya and what we do for we are very passionate about the people of northern Kenya.
You are.
Very passionate.
You're going to turn that place around.
Indeed.
Yes.
No, there's a lot of developments.
And outside the bench and outside the ODM and the Jubilee, we are very good friends.
Okay, you're going to buy my book, yeah?
Yeah, he has to. He has no choice.
If and when you reduce the price to 1,500, I'm waiting for the price to come down. Yeah, and I'm sure you'll reduce the price one day.
No. He has given you an undertaking that provided the big man signs.
And I sign.
Oh, yeah.
And you sign.
Boss.
I'll buy 3 copies.
Yeah, he says he's going to buy 3 copies. Just go to State House and get them all to sign.
Oh my.
What a show. House Majority Leader Aden Duale and former Deputy Speaker Farah Maalim. We're talking issues, the 3 R's and beyond, moving forward. It's good to see people from opposite sides of the political divide debating issues. That's what it's all about. Gentlemen, I appreciate you coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Tomorrow night, as I told you earlier, we'll be in Kilifi County. JKL will be live there. My guest, he's performed with the likes of Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. You guessed it, Sal Davis on the bench tomorrow night. You know you do not want to miss that. Join us then. And then Friday, 8 p.m. live, Sikika Sasa from Kilifi County. Right here on Kenya's television network, KTN. Keep tweeting. Thanks for being with us. Good night and good luck. Thanks much, Mua.
Thank you.
Great job, man. Great job.
I'll buy the book. Now I'll buy the book.
Now you buy it.